Unlike covering a football match or an athletics event, we're talking about a racecourse that happens out at sea. Under the elements, it's quite important to be able to capture all the action out at sea to broadcast that back to the viewers at home.
Hi, my name's Adam. I'm from AMI Productions. We do the live cameras from the chase boats on the water and the helicopter in the air. The whole ethos behind it is stability. So while we're manoeuvring in the helicopter, all the electronics and the motors keep the image perfectly stable. It's a 6-axis stabilised turret with a Sony P50 camera in it, which will do up to 4K, with a 46x zoom lens, so most of this is lens. It's a very powerful zoom. It's got a rain spinner on the front that we can start if it starts raining to keep water off the lens. The turret attaches to a vibration isolator and then onto the pole, which we've mounted onto the helicopter just for this job. This is the actuator with the antenna on it, so it's all very good taking pictures. You've got to get them out of the helicopter and back to land. The pictures then get sent all the way back to the UK, where they're actually cut live there, not on location. Well, that's my job. The pilot, of course, has to get us in the right place at the right time, so it's super important to work with someone who knows what they're doing.
You can see that everything's working fine on the camera system. The camera just stays still. If I put an input in, it just follows me. It's all perfectly stable. I've got all the zoom power. The boat's over there. I can come right in and get pretty tight in there. And it's all perfectly stable. When it gets very light and the conditions are difficult, we have to really use the helicopter to bring the energy to the pictures. That's not just completing our helicopter range test. We just did that and it was about 15 coming up to 20 miles, which is pretty good. So that means we'll be able to stay live for an hour and a half, depending on the speed obviously, after the race starts. So it looks like we're in good shape. Sounds like a useful day's testing, and we should be good to go live tomorrow.
Okay, and this is our chase boat. So we've got two chase boats on the job, one there and one here. This is chase one, and the same camera system that we use in the helicopter. So the Shotover M1. So it's got a 46x lens in it, which is an incredibly zoomy lens, which means we can see all sorts around the course, and a Sony broadcast camera inside. Obviously the setup on the boat differs quite a lot from the helicopter. The mount we use is very different in that it has suspension in it, and the reason we use this is obviously we're crashing through waves and rougher sea, so it can take out a lot of the impact. We've also got a very different vibration isolator, which is coping with just totally different vibration compared to the helicopter because of the boat, the generators we use to power it, and the nature of the sea. But it's a brilliant tool. It's a fantastic tool for the job, and I can't really think of a better way to cover a sailing race, to be honest. Inside is where all the magic happens in a way. So our driver sits here. He's the one who's putting us in the right place for the shot. And then I sit just beside him, and I have that laptop controller there, which gives me full control over everything at the back. So it's slightly different to the heli in that we've got a bit more room to footer around in. So the power's coming up now, and you'll start to see the gimbal stabilize. It's a bit misty out here, isn't it? What a beautiful day. So we've got a hoist out the window here that's, 40, 50 foot up. That's receiving all of our pictures from the water and from the helicopter. When you're filming on the water, you end up with a lot of sea on the lens, salt water on the lens. So you can't use a rain spinner because it streaks all the salt everywhere. So what we do is we wash it with fresh water, try and dry it out, and then polish it. But on a day like today, that's going to last for about 5 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes, and that's it. And then we head back inside. So on my lap, I've got full camera control, so everything's from the cameras sat out on the back there. It's very similar to the heli. Well, it's exactly the same system to the heli. I can operate all the pan, all the tilt, all the roll, and the system works overtime to stabilize everything. And then luckily for me, because we're doing a live broadcast, the color panel, which normally sits here, is being controlled remotely. And they're trying to match up all of the colors on this broadcast from each camera so everything looks the same. The biggest challenge generally for us on the boats is keeping ourselves wedged in and locked in while the boats are slamming in the water. We've got a recorder, we've got a pilot's monitor, and that basically means that Bob here can keep the frame exactly where it needs to be. And yeah, that's kind of it. Pretty much work together to try and make pretty pictures. So we're recording sound up the front of the boat as well. The point of that is it's very odd to have a broadcast where you just got these still images and no sound behind. So these are picking up just noises of the water really to go in with our pictures. And that's all fed back into the transmitter and sent back to the broadcast site as well.
So welcome to the Warner Bros. Discovery TV compound of the Ocean Race here in Newport. And this is what it looks like. It's not very fancy. A couple of porta cabins that we set up so that we can actually bring the pictures to your TV screen. So we have cameras out on a chase boat. We have two chase boats. We have a helicopter and we have a beauty camera that's beaming pictures, as well as one mobile camera that's roaming around for our reporter to do interviews. And all those signals, because they're not wired, get sent up on that crane high up there. So the radio frequency signals get collected there and then it gets pumped back into this cabin here. This is our master control room, MCR. So the pictures come in here, the tech guys in there will adjust the pictures, make sure that the audio and the video are in sync, and then it all gets sent back to London. So let's have a quick peek inside. As you can see here, these are all the feeds that come in, and the guys will make sure everything's in sync, the picture looks good. We can also control our camera here, our beauty camera here, to be able to have different shots of the Ocean Live Park, and all that then gets sent back to our control room in London, where our director will start mixing the feed and producing the world feed from there. Okay, what next? Commentary booth. So let's take a quick look into the commentary booth. So this is our commentary booth where the commentators sit. Niall's going to be over here. This is his microphone that he uses. And the commentators have their screens set up so they can have a good view as to what's happening. There is our 3D graphics from Virtual Eye that comes in all the way over here. The tracker is going to be set up on this computer. So this is basically his eyes to what's happening out on the race course as he talks you through it. It's quite a big challenge because we have basically teams in 3 different places. We've got this TV compound that's set up on shore. We've got the team that's filming out on the water, and then we've got the team back in the UK that really have to work very closely together. The communication is everything between these 3 teams to make the pictures look good on TV. I think after every broadcast, the whole team breathes a huge sigh of relief. It's a great feeling to be able to bring the leg starts and the import races to the viewer at home. I love it. I love the community that is clear amongst the sailors, the teams, and we're trying to capture that as well in the way we tell the stories of the sailors and the people who are on board the boats. So that's been quite impressive and quite unlike most sports.